Hello everyone and welcome to another Transformers review with me, Ferris. Today we're going to be taking a look at the last of the three R.E.D or Robot Enhanced Design figures that I got, and we are looking at the Superior Soundwave today. So, if you've seen my other couple of reviews for these, the Optimus and Megatron ones, you'll know that I've been doing a sort of a live unboxing. I mean, it's live for me, not so much for you. Just taking them out of the packaging, having a look, see what they're like, you know, straight out of the box. And then I've gone away, had a little play, and then come back with some comparisons and final thoughts. So this will be the last time I'm doing that for a while. So, as usual, let's have a look at the packaging. And once again, I do quite like the packaging. So we've got Soundwave. Well, I mean, you can see sort of most of him. These boxes aren't the best for mint-in box collectors, I have to say, because the artwork at the bottom takes up a heck of a lot of room. And I think this is the worst one, actually, for it. You know, you can't really see any of Soundwave's lower half. So probably not good for mint-in box collectors. Thankfully, I'm not a mint-in box collector, because when I took this out of the postage box, it was all flipping bashed and battered at the bottom, and it wasn't even in the bottom of the box. That was the way it came. You know, that was the way it was put in the actual postal box. I'm not massively happy with that kapow. Thankfully, it doesn't seem to have affected the picture on the side too much, because I do clip these out and keep them. So yeah, if it affected that, it would have been going back and I'd have been asking for another one. But anyway, so you've got Soundwave down the bottom there, and again this weird sort of paint flaking business. I don't know what this is about. Does anybody have any idea what this is supposed to be about? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, there you go, that's that. So round the back, I can't speak now. I've not had enough coffee. Round the back, we've got the product shots, the prototype. Oh, that's pretty good there. All the bumps down the bottom, and then on this side you can see some of the accessories it comes with. He seems to come with fewer items than either Megatron or Optimus, which is a bit of a shame. Then on the bottom, you've already seen that massive dent down there. I'm not impressed with that. Bump on the bottom, and we've just got the Transformers logo on the top, and it's a bit damaged up there and all. But like I say, I don't keep the boxes, so it's not a huge issue. So let's crack him open. And we get separate pieces, so you get a separate plastic. Oh, stand up. It's not going to stand up. Right, lay it down. You get separate plastic pieces for the figure and the accessories. You get these really nice sort of... Hello. That's not right. That's Prime. Why? Okay, that's slightly strange. I don't know. I'll have to check, see if anybody else has come to that, because I was really hoping I was going to get the Soundwave one, and it should have been a Soundwave one actually, because that's the rest of Soundwave. Oh, that's really annoying, because I really like these. I was going to keep these for my scrapbooking. Okay, I'm going to have to see if somebody can get me one of them then. That's a bit disappointing. So I've got a dodgy box, and I've got the wrong insert. This is not going well. This is not going well. Let's just hope the figure is okay. So, alright, let's pop all these bits out of plastic. We'll see what we end up with. There's that, and get this little... Oh, I hate these things. I don't know why these companies keep insisting on using this horrible plastic. Ugh, I don't know why they do it. It doesn't need it. It's not coming out, Hasbro. Look, see? Oh, I'll tell a lie. It is coming out, alright. Oh, he's going to prove me flipping wrong, isn't he? He's just going to keep proving me wrong. Right, okay then. So there's Soundwave himself. Okay, let's get this a little bit more comfortable. And we'll look at the accessories first. I'll put Soundwave over there. So we get, I mean, you saw his shoulder cannon just popped off, so I'll just, we'll have a look at that. That's poorly cut off the sprue there as well. Alright, I'll just put that on there for now. Oh, you've got to be, come on, seriously? Let's see why it came off. It doesn't go in very well. Okay, let's have a look at teeny weeny little laser beak. Oh, that's not too bad. It's not the best, and again, that's a very bad sprue mark there as well. So we'll have to see whether or not that will fit in his chest with that sprue mark there. If not, I'll have to trim it down a bit, but it's not badly painted, it's okay. So there's that. We got a couple of hands again. We've got one open right hand and one closed left hand. Let me see if these are any different from the Optimus ones, which I have here. What we got? Trying to find the open one now, the one that holds the weapon. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it is different because it's got his finger extended a bit more there, so it is different. So there's that. So that'll be his left hand for pressing the eject button on his shoulder. So we get those, and we get this blaster, and this is warped. So it's quite a soft plastic. Just need to pop my hairdryer on that. So yeah, it's not too bad. Again though, with this swirling on this plastic, this doesn't seem to be a very good quality plastic. I have to say I'm a little bit concerned how this is going to hold up over time, because it doesn't seem to be a very good plastic. Right, so those are the accessories, and given how much Megatron and Prime came with, I think that's quite disappointing. Yeah, that's not great. I'm not massively happy with that. Alright, so let's have a look at the figure himself. Let me just get this elastic band off of him. Shake it down, there we go. Alright, it's getting close. Yeah, let's have a look. It's Soundwave. At least it's got the right colour eyes, so I'm happy about that at least. It really does bother me. I mean, it's not a huge thing, but it bothers me when they paint his eyes yellow. I don't like the yellow eyes. Never liked the yellow eyes. But it's not too bad. Let's see if this works. Yeah, kind of. Well, it works a bit. Nothing on the inside of that though. Well, we got that open. Let's see if Laserbeak will go in. So I've just noticed Laserbeak's quite warped as well. I don't know if you can see that. It's yeah. Oh, it's quite soft plastic as well. Let's try and put him in this way around and see if he'll go in. Yeah, he'll go in all right. So I'll probably leave him in there because there's no point displaying him anywhere else. This piece here is just a normal sort of clear plastic quality, so no problem with that. Although it looks like, yeah, the whole thing down here, it's the whole thing is clear plastic, so I'd be careful with opening that too far in case it sort of cracked open down here. We should be alright if you're careful with it. I don't see a problem there. It's got a little bit of metal flake going on in his legs there. There's a little bit in the arms as well. This one doesn't feel as powdery as the other two, I have to say. It feels a little bit, but it's not as bad. Eesh. Oh, some damage in that leg. What's that side like? Well, that side's better, but then that's not great either. Yeah. At least the sprue marks here are on the back, so it's not a huge problem. Look at the size of this. Good grief. I mean, I can trim that down, but I shouldn't have to. You know. I mean, 18 quid this figure was. The very least they could do is flipping sand the sprue marks down. I think QC needs to be looked at with these figures, because the sprue marks on their own are just awful. Anyway, I don't know if that's meant to come off. Oh yeah, it does. What you would do with it though, I don't know, but it does come off. No, I don't know what you do with it. So yeah, okay, so that's the quick look at the figure. I will go away and do what I've done with the others and have a proper look, and then I'll come back and do a comparison, and you'll hear my final thoughts. Right, so I've had a good look at Soundwave now, and it might be because I'm slightly biased, but I do feel like Soundwave is the best of the three bots. I kind of feel like it started off mediocre with Prime, then it got slightly better with Megatron, especially with having that ab crunch that I didn't realise was there. And now I feel like Soundwave is nearer where I would want an action figure that doesn't transform to be. So, that's not to say that he doesn't have his issues, because he does. But let's have a closer look. So we had a look at him before, you know, just as I took him out of the box. So a couple of issues that I have. His arm cannon here, or shoulder cannon I should say, I don't know why that peg is so short, because it keeps popping out. When I try and pose the figure, it keeps just sort of I mean, it's not like it flies off on its own, but it's just like, you know, if you slightly knock it, oh, it's gone out, you know, it's gone again. That peg really should have been longer. I don't know why it's so short. So there's that, and obviously also because the actual the thing is round, because it's meant to look like a battery. As you're pushing it in, I don't know if you can see, it's the plastic is so soft that it's starting to dent the underside. So I'm trying to get it in, and in so doing I'm denting the plastic underneath. Not a huge issue, but just one that I wish could have been negated by the simple fact of having a properly sized peg there. I don't really understand why it's so small. The other issue I have is also when posing, you tend to have this happens. You tend to put your finger on the chest, don't you? Because that's like the sturdiest part. Well, if you put your finger anywhere near that, it just pops that open. That eject button there does absolutely nothing to hold that together. I think it's just there just to push it open, but you can just do that. So that's a little bit of an issue, because you'd be, you know, playing around trying to get imposed, and oh wow, that's popped open again, and push it closed. So yes, we've already talked about the plastic quality, so I'm not going to go over that again. I do think that this is probably slightly better than the other two, especially with Megatron's fusion cannon. So yeah. Right, so articulation on this guy is a little bit better. I feel. So you have, I'm going to take this off because it will pop off anyway, so I'm just going to put that to one side. You do have the same double ball joint for the head, so it's got a ball at the inside the head and another one inside the body, so you can do that sort of, see what I mean? So you can do that sort of back and forth thing. So if you want to push his head all the way forward, you can, or if you want to go to the back, you can. He does look up a long way. He doesn't look down very much. No, tell a lie, he does. If you push that forward, he does look down quite a way. That's not bad, actually. His arms, stay closed. His arms go all the way around. They do go up and down, and they don't, thankfully, have this massive hole in the side of his body. In fact, this whole part, this part is like a normal Transformers plastic, whereas everything else is on the, you know, this, flipping it. Whereas everything else is more this sort of rubbery PVC plastic. So I'm going to assume that's simply by virtue of needing this to open. Also on this we have a new articulation joint. You can, this ever so slight butterfly joint. Let me do it this way so you can see what I mean. So you get that, so that's quite nice. You do have the upper bicep swivel, and also new to this figure is the double jointed elbow. And why, oh why did you not put this on the other two figures, Hasbro? I mean, it's just so simple. I get that the reason they've put it on Soundwave is so that you can get his arm into such a position that you can, you know, you can have him with his outstretched finger pressing on the eject button. I get that, but if they could do it on this, why could they not do it on the other two? It beggars belief, it really does. He does have a waist swivel. He doesn't have the ab crunch that Megatron has, and neither did Optimus actually. I did go back and check that, and Optimus doesn't have that crunch. I think it's because of the construction of these two bots, where they've got this sort of, you know, these harder plastic elements. Legs can go forward about that much, back that much, and again, this doesn't feel like the rest of the plastic. This feels more like this. So yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know why they didn't put like a skirt on here so we could get a bit of better range of movement on the legs, but oh well. They'll go out to there, which isn't massively far. Again, it's on a ball joint, so it's more like a tiny little wiggle. You don't really get much out of it. You do get this thigh cut, but then the same with all of them really. You know, if you move them, you get this really weird abstract leg. So I don't know how useful that's going to be for most people's posing. You do get a nice double jointed knee, however, which is always nice. And then the feet, nice big chunky feet, with a humongous ball in there. The size of that thing, Doctor. Yeah, you get some rotation inwards mainly, because you can't really go outwards because again we've got this piece here. You can go up a little ways and down, but then the heel just knocks on the back of this. But you do get the mother of all tilts. That's the only figure out of these three that has that level of tiltage. So there are improvements with this figure, and I'm glad that there are, but I do still feel like there are issues. Basically, it's down to that very short peg and this popping open all the time, and where was it? Oh, something else. There was some yes, there's rather sort of scratched up pieces here on the lower legs. But then, in fairness, all of the figures have had all this sort of scratched going on somewhere or another. So there you have that. Right, pardon me, I've got a frog in my throat again today. Alright then, so let's have a look at his other hands. I might as well swap them both out. So let's take that one. You're going to want that one there. Oh, that one's very tight. Oh, there we go. I forgot to mention on the articulation that the wrists do rotate, and you also have this inward and outward movement. But like I've said on both Optimus and Megatron, it doesn't really work that well because the hands are recessed into the arms, so you don't really get a great deal from that. But it's there. It's there if you need it. If you want to use it for something, you can. So let's see. Yep, that works. That definitely works, and that is probably why he has those double jointed elbows. So let's give him his gun in the other hand. Guns are a little bit awkward to get in our hands as well. I might have to do the hairdryer trick with this one. It's funny, it's like the bits you want to be hard are soft, and the bits you want to be soft are hard. Yes, I know, there's a "that's what she said" joke there, I know. I can't get it. Everything's going to be innuendo from this point on. I can't get him to hold his gun because that fist is really tight. Okay, I'll heat it up and I'll get it in there, and I'll take some pictures of him holding it. Let's put this bit back on. See if it will stay on for more than 20 seconds. So that's that, and let's bring in Earthrise Soundwave for comparison. This is the better of the three, in my opinion. It seems to be better finished than the other two, but I still think that for a non-transforming figure at 20 quid, well 18 for this one, because for some reason Capel had this one at 18 while the other two were 20. But for that sort of price, I don't think you're getting a good product for the price. I think a more reasonable price for these would be about 15 each. Because, you know, well, I was going to say this was 24, but it wasn't, because it was in the Netflix pack, so it was more expensive. But, you know, a Voyager class figure is 24. This is only £4 less, and I feel like I'm getting half a figure because it doesn't transform. And it's not that I have an issue with figures not transforming, because I don't. You know, I've got the amazing Yamaguchi Optimus Prime, I've got the Revoltech from a few years ago, I've got a few non-transforming figures. It doesn't bother me, but it bothers me when I'm paying almost the same amount of money and I feel like the product I'm getting is not as good. So, yeah. So, I've looked at all three of these now. All three of them have some kind of issue, which I think is a shame. And you can't say, oh, well, it's just teething problems, because, well, no, it isn't, because, you know, Hasbro have been making Marvel Legends for how long now? And we've had double jointed elbows, legs, knees, you know, all these different joints in those for the best part of a decade. It really shouldn't have been that much more difficult for them to bring that toy technology over to a non-transforming Transformers figure. It really shouldn't have been that difficult. Overall, I do like them. I don't think they're fantastic. They're certainly not the best things in my collection. But I do rather like them. Let me bring in Megatron and Prime as well. So that's the first three in wave one. They look good together, they do, you know, because they're both, they're all three rather the same sort of style. I do feel like Soundwave could have been a bit wider though, he seems a bit thin to me. But yeah, like I said in the other two, we're doing a group buy, getting Cheetor and Prime RC from a company over in Spain because we couldn't get them here. So we will be looking at those. I'm hoping that they have improved the design a bit for those figures. We will see. But yeah, I mean, overall I think they're okay. I think this is going to be one of those Marmite things though. You're either going to really like them or really hate them. I'm more on the liking them side than hating them, so I probably will carry on picking them up for as long as they do them. I don't know how long they'll carry on doing these for, so I guess we'll just wait and see. So that's it, that's all three covered, so please do go back and have a look at the first two reviews if you hadn't already done so. And as always, thanks for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed these, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Fingers on plastic.